This mime, as it turns out, ותשמ, hey, the little מאמרים, is much more difficult than the first one. Okay, so it's Gimmel. Oh, okay, Bemis, I look up all the Makedas, which I have not done. Okay, let's go. We'll get a general idea, Be'ez Hashem, and then we'll fine tune it. Be'ez Hashem. Gimmel v'hinei kedei levirus, oitzel l'mayla, in order to understand the oitzel l'mayla, which is given to every year. You said already it's the union of Yireh Shamayim. So explained already, based on the previous Maimer, that you need Yireh Shamayim. When you need Yireh Shamayim, as opposed to Avos Hashem. Mm-hmm. I'm asking a question, folks. We can answer if you don't mind. When you need Yireh Shamayim,
to probably skafia rather than to do a mitzvah.
Right. Huh? When you have to draw on Yireh Shamayim, if you're motivated and you love what you're doing, you don't need Yireh Shamayim, and you're in an inspired state and you love the Eibishter, so you do. Yireh Shamayim is basically loisas, which is I want to do it and I don't. Discafia. So why are we dealing with loisas in the world? It's one of the complaints against Judaism. There's too many prohibitions. You think religion would be about doing, not about not doing. And yet there's more loisas than mitzvah saseh. It's even stranger. And moreover, not only is there more number, right? 369 versus 248. But the loisas are much more universal. The mitzvahs say many of them are only target specific. Kohen, Levi, etc. And the loisas for the most part, are universal. So not only are they greater in number, but they're more universal. And the answer is in the Maimer. Because the Helem Atzmi, the investment of Atzmos, is Dafkin Helem. Dafkin struggling with his kafia, and Dafkin v'delam hazeh, and Dafkin in temptation and prohibitions, where godliness is concealed. Avos Hashem, by definition, is you're inspired. Hashem is revealed. You cannot love something that you don't experience. But Yireh Shamayim is you're not experiencing. Huh? In order for that to be a true Avos Hashem, yeah, the foundation has to be Kabbalah and Yireh Hashem. Yeah. But in principle, the answer is not fundamentally no. Varay Avraham comes first, and then comes Yitzchak. But the Seder Avodah, Al Rebbe says in Perek Memaldef is Kabbalah's oil, because if that isn't there, the Avos Hashem is not enough, and it can take you also in wrong directions. It's all Yiddishkeit is all love. Good. So then, yeah, but you see this in practice. It's all love. Then it's not a diuk in like this exactly, not like this. It misses the attention to detail, and then it blurs the lines. It's only love. It blurs the lines of what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Varay, as we all know. And it's a house of love and whatever it's called over there. The Yesod has to be Yireh Shamayim. But we're saying, why is Yireh Shamayim? That's the Oitzer. Because the whole Oitzer is in our struggle. Dafka Nilam Hazeh, with his prohibitions, because there's tremendous concealment. But here is where Atzmos is invested. Here's the Tacht. The Oitzer Yireh Shamayim is the Koyach HaGvul, the Tzimtzum, the Maila Din Ketz. And that's the Maila Din Ketz. Taich now, it was based on the previous Maimah. How can we call it Mila? When we're talking about Tzimtzum and Hella? Answer? Anybody?
Because the more it's being withheld and concealed, the deeper the koyach ha'atzmi.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was basically the previous Maimah. Now let's dive in here and see this Maimah.
And in Leisa say by definition is like concealment.
Yeah, why can't you do that? Because God's concealed there if we can't go there. Sure. I mean, the shaila is why should there be any prohibitions altogether? Everything's godliness. Spinoza. There's no prohibitions for Spinoza. We even add Yemach Shmei, I think, on him. I don't know, but it was a Yid. But everything is a likus. And he actually distorted this. Adarabah, where God has concealed, he's invested more, so go for it.
Shmi Yutke.
I'm just finish the distortion mamash of this Indian, which is why he's so reviled. Because Taka deep Indian, Dafkin the Hela, and Indian Mulvadai, but then he said there's no restriction. What are you saying? Shmi Availin Adat Yelahem? No?
Shmi im Yutke, Zichri im Vavke. The Shmi in Yut, I don't know the exact lesson. The Lysa are connected with the Yutke, and Asay is Vavke because the Lysa is deeper. You can only be expressed by not.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, ois Gimmel. Hine kedei levayit in the oitze lemailo. To understand the oitze lemailo, which you said already is the Yiras Shamayim. Maybe b'hemshech hamayim he brings in the Maimer. This Perek Yud Gimmel. Yeah, as divrei tikun izoyar. Very good basis starts already. The divrei tikun izoyar, the words of the tikun is said oirin sof lemaila adin lemaila. So sometimes the lashon is lemaila, and sometimes mata. It's interesting to look it up. Maya then ketzel lamata in tachlis. So lachlish mevayed in lamata in tachlis first explains the descent, the reach, the giloi, the reach, as it were, of Eir Insof. Revealed lamata, and there's no change really in the Eir, etc., as explained in the previous Maimah Tavshin Chafei. But now in the Perek Tesvav, Shehu HaPerek HaShaych L'Shon Hazeh. This is the Perek which is connected to this year. This was Tavshin Bemhei, and likewise Tavshin Pei. That year was 20 years. After having learned the 20 prakim of this Hemshech Maimorim, B'meshech Esrim Hashonim HaRishonos. So we learned it already the first 20 years. Sh'oz Nasayin the Ben Esrim Shona Royal Limke Lisav Litim Benichse Aviv. So after Bar Mitzvah, I think, or a child has the right to sell metaltalin, but we don't, of his father, movable objects, we don't allow him to sell fully and engage in business in his father's real estate. But the age of 20, yes, which means 20 is the age of maturation. And therefore, it's interesting he doesn't bring that the negative side of it, kind of, that Bezdin Shamayla only punishes at 20. It's not that I, that 20 is mature. But the Rebbe brings this one, because not Mistama, we could say, Yeshleim, Yeshleim is Meramas. The Aviv is the Rebbe. So now you, at 20 years old, you take on, like Al Derech, at 40 years, the Rabbi, at 20, there's also such a stage where already you take ownership of it and you can deal and engage in commerce in Nichsei Aviv. And what's Nichsei Aviv? The Maimah, is the Torah, which the Aviv, which the Rebbe gives over. Anyway, continuing, says, we're 20 years. Now, the second cycle. And what's the second? Another mile, like Yiflan Tushia, like the second luchas, with double of the wisdom that were given in the first. Most of Torah Shabbat Peh was given Dafkin luchas shniyas. So what's this year? So we're in the second cycle, 20 years, and 15 years into the second cycle. So what does he say? End of brackets. So Maschi, what does he start to explain in Perek Tesvov? Maschi levayer mara in l'mayla din ketz. What is the Zohar saying? L'mayla din ketz, which the Frierdiker Rebbe says, Shua oitze shlamad. That's the oitze. Now again, the pasha to touch in the Tikkun Zohar before the Frierdiker Rebbe is pasha. L'mayla din ketz is the oil lifnei tzimtzum. But the Rebbe explained that's not the pshat because there's a chidush here. Just like lamata mat adin tachlis is a chidush, which he explained at length. Something novel which we would not know. We'd expect the oil to undergo a change, and it doesn't. So too, l'mayla mat adin ketz cannot simply be saying that there's the oil in soft. If that's tzimtzum, that's endless. That the Tikkun Zohar is telling us something novel which he wouldn't know, and therefore that's the whole chidush of the Frierdiker Rebbe. So explains the Frierdiker Rebbe, the Hashem She'erin Sof L'mata Mata. What does it mean that Erin Sof descends below? Adin Tachlis, which means unfathomably. You can never get to the bottom of it and unraveling it. It remains forever a mystery. B'ispashtos v'gilui adin shira mispar klal. This is explained at length that we see that the creations and its expression is without number at all. It's endless. Kvishin is by prakim hakodim. There's a whole harichas and many prakim in explaining lamat matin tachlis, which includes also, as we just said, that the oil doesn't change despite the tzimtzum. That's a big chiddush explained of a series of prakim. In the Gemoik and Erin Sof L'mayla Madin Ketz, so to this statement that Erin Sof Madin Ketz, what is that? Says the Frierdiker Rebbe, not what you think, but fakert, opposite. B'chinas helem ha'oir. Hashem's concealment, Shubehelem achar helem, concealment and yet greater concealment, ubachlolis, and in general it's swinging at tzimtzum, which is the koyach hagvul. And in summaries, we learned that koyach hagvul expresses atzmos deeper than koyach habligv, for all the reasons we explained. But we're going to see what the Rebbe says here. Okay, this is very. We're going to just say the words now, and we have to. I have to look up the Makodas here. But what's coming here is a big chidush that usually when we speak of the tzimtzum, we speak of the tzimtzum barishon. The starting point is, as the Eitz Chaim says in the beginning, the Ein Sof filled the whole Metzius. So at the outset, there's Bligvul, no tzimtzum. And where's the tzimtzum? There on the Ein Sof Bligvul, creating the kav and ishtalshalus that then proceeds from there. What he's going to say here is there's a number of tzimtzumim already before the Ein Sof. Starts way earlier, deeper within the Eibush, as it were, than the classic filtering or screening of the Ein Sof that produces Seder Ishtalshalus. To understand it, I'm just going to say one general word that we need to appreciate. Tzimtzum means radical change. Radical change in terms of descent. A radical change from the revelation of the truth as it's been revealed before the tzimtzum. Okay, having said that, let's look now learn. Even though in Eitz Chaim it says from the Arizal, what's the first tzimtzum? It's the tzimtzum that happens once the Ein Sof is revealed. According to Eitz Chaim now. What happened? It's not what happened in the past. You have to also appreciate this is ongoing every moment. But he speaks in language of past. And the whole language of the Eitz Chaim is deceptively simple, and as we pointed out many times, open to gross misinterpretation, which many well-intended scholars have done. Talmidei Chachamim. Because the language is so simple and using gashmistic imagery, siluk, tzimtzum, remove, mokim cholol, empty space, means none of that literally. So likewise the language is. So he says, there's a quote from Eitz Chaim, the Ein Sof as a malis kol hametzios, it filled the entire existence, which is really begs the question, what existence? There isn't an existence yet. It's already stride number one. Which tells us already this is already, after some process of creation has already begun. We're speaking of Metzius. There already is a hint here that there's a radical change already that precedes this. This is not the starting point. Atzmus and Eir in Sof is a Malakam Malakam Metzius. What Metzius? When Metzius? Fill what? So even in the language here, it hints to that there's tzimtzumim before, which means radical steps. Continuing that the lashon of the Eitz Chaim, and there wasn't space for creation to emerge, to exist. Again, mokim. There was a mokim, there's no mokim altogether on any level. No, there's mokim, but not lambidas ha'ilmas. What does that mean? So again, all hinting to, in his language, Be'emes, that the tzimtzum orisha is not the starting point of the whole process of creation at all. Not by far. Become mokim, so that it continues. Now, that's what it says in Eitz Chaim. And he uses the word tzimtzum orisha. Tzimtzum orisha is the first tzimtzum. Become mokim, is a Kabbalah v'bechsidus. But it says in Kabbalah, brought in Chassidus, and he adds in brackets, pomdim nadiris, tak on rare occasions. Usually we start with tzimtzum orisha. But here we're probing deeper. Here we're going to the Helem Ha'atzmi, the words of the Zoya, the words of the Fidik Rebbe, be Iloi Achet Iloi. Helem, Tzimtzum, higher and higher, greater and greater. Meaning, what does he say? What does it say? Chassidus in these rare places. He tells how to 40 where they are. The two places he brings us is Rebbe's Memorim, but we're going to learn them. One of them is a hemshech to this one, Yisrael Memhei. Okay, Hashem Yazor, we should be mechaven to the pshat, at least not distort it. Akoponim. So what does it say in rare places? Shagam lifnei atzimtzum arishin hoye in shal tzimtzum. Even before the tzimtzum arishin, there is the inyan of tzimtzum. Let's see. V'yuvan zapei yedua. So this be understood in light of that which is known as follows. In addition to the fact that the light itself that emanates from the source is incomparable to the source itself. Yeah. Now, in Pashtus, that means what it Pashtus. You have a source of light, and the light emanates rays, and the rays are incomparable to the source of light. It's only a ray. But you have, I've explained it here. Told you it's machlikus and mashpiyim. But this is where I understand it. That remember, what does oir mean? Yes, it means rays. But what do you mean we say oir and ma'ir? Anybody? Over the years, not so long ago, not simply rays. As you see them. Going through the window pane. Not what I'm trying to say is the ray. The oil is not just looking at the oil. No, somebody
Station of the Mo'er.
of the mo'er. When you're looking at the mo'er, what do you have in your head? What are you seeing? It's the oil of the mo'er. Light is bouncing off. This is why I'm seeing it. What I'm seeing is light. I hold it. I have the sefer. But the sefer is here, and I'm looking at it, and and what I'm seeing is an accurate depiction of what this is. It's bottled to the moed. It says nothing other than what moed is. It's just a different way of understanding. I'm not just talking about a light source, light bulb, and then rays coming over here. Here's rays. It means looking at the moed, what you have of the source, whatever it is, and it is a moed because I only see it because light is bouncing off it. The dark, I don't see it. So everything is a moed. If you're seeing it, it's a moed. Okay, it comes from another moed because there's a light bulb. But this has to be a source of light that's bouncing off it for me to see it. So it's be'ein aroich, the image that I have, as accurate as it is, it's incomparable to the actual siddur itself, or the object I'm looking at. Clear? Yeah. Let's continue.
It's only a picture, and
Huh?
not the real. It's only a picture and not the real thing.
It's a picture, yeah. It's a picture, but it's an accurate picture. It's be'ein amoid, it's dovok, not all the milas, but it's be'ein aroich. It's a picture. It's an image. And that's how a picture works. Right? The camera, the mountain is over there, and you're taking a picture, and you have the picture on your phone. Because light travels from the mountain and is now picked up and translated in the phone, your eye.
Photograph is first.
Meaning?
It's reflection.
It's only because light is traveling from the mountain that the camera can pick it up. You agree with that? That's what we say. And then it converts that into the image. Flips it, yeah, whatever. It's a complex process that doesn't come close to what the eye does. A kopanim, yeah, let's go further. So that's number one. Hainu, now the brackets. He just finished saying that the oir is be'ein aroich to the mo'ir. Hainu shebe'ein aroich gam legab be'inyan the mo'ir shebe'atzmos. Now, I'm not sure. I mean, I learned this with my son. There's no footnote here. So you can offer your explanation. What's the gam over here? There's a chiddush here. Not only is
Atzmos alone,
Wait,
but
unpack. Finish. Not only is the oir ben aroich to the mo'ir, but also, which means chiddush, not mikol shkein. Also, legabe inyan the mo'ir shebe'atzmos. Now, if we're talking about atzmos, then it's not also, it's mikol shkein that it's bottle. The pshat here, I think, is when he says mo'ir shebe'atzmos, even the oil that emanates from the moed, as the moed is in atzmos, let's just get this technically. I would think that oil is be'erech, because this is not stam moed, but the moed, as the moed is in atzmos, even that's be'erech. Hasbara, we'll leave right now. Just get the technical explanation. Is that clear?
question, is he referring, I
Yeah.
have a question, is he referring to, he's not referring to, obviously not referring to Atzmos alone, he's referring to the Moyer Shabbatos, maybe the Cholis in Atzmos.
You're giving explanations now. Before we get the explanations, yeah, we just get the statement that oil is be'in aroich, not only classic oil, light that emanates from a source, which is emanates, travels, the mountain's there, and I'm seeing it. For sure, that's be'in aroich. But even the oil is be'in aroich as the moir still stands in atzmus. It hasn't emanated further. Now, what does this mean? So he started to say, okay, this is technically, he says, yes or no, we got that. In geography with the Grobkeit. Right. Before we go further, let's bear this in mind. And the whole explanation, language which we say all the time, and I hope you're familiar with. You fill in the blank. You tell me, why is oil? This is the first symptom. What he's really is getting at overall is that the first symptom is not simply in the oil itself. The first symptom is that there should be an oil altogether. That's the first radical change. Why? And more for that matter. Is it symptom even to produce more radical change? Can you tell me why, Pashat, as we always say? Why? Because what does Mo'ir mean? A luminary. A luminary implies
There's something to light up. There's an
there's something
otherness.
to illuminate. It's already otherness. So the key word here is we're going to stretch our intelligence or challenge it. The notion of otherness is relative, and we can probe deeper and deeper. It's more subtle and more subtle and more subtle. But the common denominator is, on some level, otherness. So there's the person. There's the person. So classic otherness is I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. That's Gili Spashtus. You are you. I'm here, and I'm relating to you. But my relationship with the world outside me doesn't start with me talking to you. It's within self. There's all kinds of levels that relate to the outside that are affected by the outside. Before I've uttered a word, before I've engaged. Levels of where the other is affecting me and I'm relating to the other. And it's all relative. Till you get to the etzem mamish, which is just bilti mizgala, beyond all relationship outside of self. And these are the darkness he's going to probe over here. And so every level of otherness, that is a greater otherness than the one before that there's the tzimtzum. That's what the tzimtzum means. Another radical move away from the essential self to the world of outside of self. Now for us, the world outside of self is a given. But for Atzmos, it is not a given. It's the most radical thing, that there should be anything other than God. Okay, so let's see inside the words. Inside the Maimon. Here, now closing the brackets. In a gamba oir gufa, it's again all relative. Even in the manifestation itself. Now we're speaking the world of oir. Kasha nimshech mispashet, at least pechinas oir. When the light actually manifests, it can be called light. It's conveying the source along great distances. The mountain is here and I'm seeing it. The light's traveling. So even this, it's incomparable to what? The gabi, the very light, the way it is within the source, before it spreads. In Tanya says, he talks about the sun. He gives a marshal of the sun. It's all, everything's used in Tanya and the Likrat Torah. Can't see this, obviously. What did he say in Tanya there? Gentlemen, with Gimmel. He talks there about the rays of the sun being within the sun. Before they emanate. Now, you don't see the rays there because you see the fiery mass of the sun. Because the rays, because in the source, they're bottled, they're completely nullified there. And that's what he's saying now. They are rays there. Adrabah, they're very powerful. Stronger even than the rays as they travel and then disperse, spread, lose their intensity. They're there, but completely bottled. Okay, so in addition to what he just, the flow, in addition to the oir being bein arich to the mo'ir, the oir, next level of bein arich, manifested oir as opposed to oir within, still within the source, but expressed. We'll give him a sholem benefesh adam. Think about it, but we just get the technical language. Yeah, we clear so far, gentlemen.
We're saying that within within the sun itself, there's already.
No, not about the ball of the sun. That's the moed. The ray of the sun as it is within the ball of the sun. That's a ray already. There's a tzimtzum between that level and the ispashtus. It's
Sun, there's no, I mean, the ray.
There's
that's already double. There are that's in the bar.
Before
There's no
in the first part, he said yes for the etzem to produce a moed is a tzimtzum. That's a tzimtzum, and the moed to produce oil. Now we're speaking now in the oil itself. In oil itself, there's a great tzimtzum, it's a radical change between the oil in its source and the oil as it manifests. But we're still in the world of oil now already. This is the ray of the sun.
So between
Yeah.
bar
And oil
and car, there's
also tzimtzum. And then now the next point is we just said now is that in the oil gufa, the oil as it's in the moil, as opposed to the oil manifesting, there's a great tzimtzum there too.
which one
All of them.
is
Yeah, you just bring out this is nothing is a given, and they're all radical changes. The implication is again that they're not given. This is all mitzad. So why is this happening? Leave good enough alone. Leave God alone. Because nisava and therefore all of these descents. And this nisava, a new explanation now, friends, why this is in atzmi. What's the source of the nisava? Huh? The source of the nisava atzmos. Because nisava, it's inexplicable. Nisava did it. That's the cause of the tzimtzum throughout this whole process. No, more helim. What's going? Yeah, because this Ava did it b'tachtoin. So the helim is expression of atzmus, which means the radical change. Another helim, further concealment. Okay, we'll review this tomorrow and continue Be'ez Hashem.